American comics. Starting with a pen, all your ability depends on creativity. Chapter 31. Natasha. Wu, why did you choose to walk in the park here in Brooks? Wu Lei. Because the scenery here is beautiful and it is a check-in holy place. Of course I have to come here. I can take a few photos for you here. Xiao Na, don't you think it's worth taking a few photos here with plenty of light and beautiful scenery? Natasha. I thought you would paint for me like before. Wu Lei. Xiao Na, have you forgotten? Have you forgotten what I said? I only paint in the sun, so that I can paint the best and most realistic paintings. Natasha Shaw. I haven't forgotten. I have never forgotten. I just wanted to tease you just now. Your words are heavier than the mountains and higher than the sky in my heart. Wu Lei. Xiao Na. Natasha. Wu. The two looked at each other affectionately, their faces getting closer and closer, and when they were about to kiss, suddenly several armed helicopters flew over the sky. The two were disturbed by the sudden sound of propellers, and they were also startled and forced to let go. Wu Lei shouted angrily. What are you doing? You disturbed our good things. Do you have any sense of public morality? Natasha was also very angry, but seeing the armed helicopter flying so low, something must have happened, so she said, Wu, don't be angry first, it seems that something has happened. Wu Lei, no matter what happens, you can't disturb us. I want to complain. They are disturbing the public. Just at this time, a black car drove over, and it was Coulson who opened the door and got out. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, we meet again. While looking at Wu Lei, he accidentally glanced at the person behind Wu Lei and continued. Hey, Natasha, you are here too well, congratulations first, I will go over to drink your wedding wine. Wu Lei, what are you doing? Why are you disturbing us? I bet you definitely know we are here, but you are pretending not to know. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, I definitely didn't know you were here. I was on my way to the scene of the incident, and when I passed by here, I heard someone talking about whether there was a sense of public morality, so I looked over here. I can only say that your voice was particularly loud, which attracted my attention, so I came over to say hello to you. Wu Lei, when did you learn to lie? Coulson. Don't so, I really didn't know you were here. Natasha. Wu, it might be true. Coulson, what happened over there? Coulson. You can ask Mr. Wu Lei. He said before that there would be two giants fighting in a while, and now the prediction has come true. Natasha. Really? Wu Lei. I was just fooling Coulson at that time. I didn't know that such a thing would really happen. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, you should accept the fact. You must have the ability to predict. Wu Lei. I said it didn't happen. No, I won't admit that I have it even if you kill me. Can it happen if I say that the plane will fall behind me and explode? Quote. This time, Wu Lei really didn't know the original plot development, but since the plane was predicted by Wu Lei, an armed helicopter was dropped from Broadway and exploded just behind Wu Lei. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, you should accept the fact that you really have the ability to predict. Wu Lei, can I say that I just said it nonsense? Coulson. What do you think? Wu Lei. Okay, anyway, you can't do anything I say. Semicolon quote. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, since you are here, please go over and help, otherwise Broadway will be demolished by two giants. Natasha. Wu, let's go over there. Wu Lei. My wife has spoken, I have to listen, but let me disguise myself first. Coulson. Go over there, there is a small forest over there. The three of them came to the small forest. Wu Lei checked around and found no one, so he clicked on the necklace, and quickly transformed, took out the magic pen, and drew a random door. The three of them just walked over, and the two giants people are right in front of us, fighting crazily. The surrounding houses, roads, and vehicles are all destroyed. The screams and cries make people feel very distressed. Natasha. What should we do now? How should we deal with it? Coulson. The damage is too serious. The military is probably in trouble. Natasha. Were these two giants created by the military? Coulson. Yes, the green giant is called Bruce Banner, and the yellow giant is called Emil Bronsky. We call Banner the Hulk in his current form, and the yellow giant is called Abomination. Wu Lei. It's a bit difficult. If these two big guys don't leave, I can't repair the scene. The casualties are too serious. Natasha. Wu, do you have any suggestions? Wu Lei. Only one can stay. I think the Green Giant is not bad. As long as Banner can control it, he is a very good partner. As for the shit yellow one, although he can talk, he is destroying and disregarding the lives of the masses. He can be eliminated. Natasha. Wu, are you considering recruiting the Hulk as a member? Wu Lei. Yes. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, how are you going to do it? Wu Lei. Xiao Na, talk to Tony, I found a new member named he is ready to receive it. As for Coulson, you tell your director that the military must be responsible for all the casualties that occurred today. The compensation must be paid, and the medical expenses must be paid. Natasha. I will tell Tony now. Coulson. I will tell the director what you said and we will put pressure on the military. Wu Lei did not hesitate and came to the middle of the Hulk and the abomination in an instant. He used the gas explosion to instantly shake the two giants apart, summoned his Zanpakuto from his body, and slashed the abomination with a soul-destroying slash. The sword light quickly passed through the abomination. The abomination just wanted to get up, but he fell down forever and could never get up again, because even his soul was annihilated by Wu Lei's soul-destroying slash. Wu Lei actually I just checked the strength of the abomination, and it is only at the level of God of War, the same as the Hulk. At this time, the Hulk was very angry when he saw his opponent being killed by the human in front of him with a knife, and rushed over and punched Wu Lei. In a flash, Wu Lei came behind the Hulk and chopped the Hulk's neck with a knife, but the Hulk couldn't bear it. Wu Lei's normal cosmic strength knocked him out with one move. The Hulk began to turn back into Banner. Wu Lei picked up Banner without hesitation, and at the same time threw the abomination who fell to the ground into the sky with great force, and combined his hands into a tiger claw shape, and slowly said, Kame School Qigong. A blue beam of light rushed to the abomination in the sky. The corpse of the evil was instantly evaporated by Wu Lei's Kamehameha. Wu Lei carried Banner to the roof and began to repair the damaged buildings, roads, and vehicles bit by bit, but the dead could not be resurrected. If the lightly injured had bleeding wounds, Wu Lei would help draw bandages. If there were seriously injured people, such as broken hands and feet or other serious injuries, he would first draw fixed wounds or stretchers and wait for the medical team to rescue them. The destruction of Broadway was restored by Wu Lei bit by bit. After everything was completed, Wu Lei still chose to draw a firework. After the firework exploded, a few lines of words appeared in the sky. This incident was caused by the military did it, and they are not allowed to shirk their responsibilities. At the same time, the injured people were sent to the hospital for treatment as soon as possible, and the damaged areas have been repaired. League of Legends, Wandering Painter. When the people present and the reporters who risked their lives to report saw the words in the sky, the reporters reported the words in the sky, and the people present were very angry when they saw the words. The military came out and gave an explanation. The military compensated us for our losses. The military created such a monster, destroying world peace and social tranquility. The people at the scene were very angry, but the people in front of the TV were grateful. Fortunately, League of Legends, Wandering Painter took action, otherwise it would be troublesome. Thank you, League of Legends. Thank you, Wandering Painter. And now Coulson on the roof said angrily, Mr. Wu Lei, why do you do this? This will destroy the peace of society and cause the masses to be hostile to the military. Natasha. Wu, I feel that this is inappropriate. Wu Lei. Xiao Na, listen to me, I did this with careful consideration. Natasha. Speak. Wu Lei. First, if I don't do this, the military will definitely shirk responsibility and make some toxic gas explosion, causing hallucinations among the people at the scene. Second, we pay taxes, not the military who takes our tax money and continues to do these biological and chemical weapons can also serve as a reminder to people or teams preparing to study biological and chemical weapons. Third, if the military makes a mistake, they must stand up, no matter who it is. Natasha. I see, you want them not to shirk responsibility, not to study uncontrollable things or biological and chemical weapons, and to stand up and admit their mistakes. Coulson's face also looked better, and he said, I feel that Mr. Wu Lei's words have something to say. Wu Lei. That's right, if the military can do it once, there will definitely be a second time, and you can also give the masses a warning first, otherwise next time this happens, they will still stand there and watch stupidly. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, you mean there will be such a thing? Wu Lei, how would I know? Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, don't hide it, we all know that you have the ability to predict the future, just accept this fact. Wu Lei. I'm too lazy to care about you, Xiao Na, let's go back. After that, he drew a portal to the park in Brooklyn, and picked up Banner when he left. Coulson. Mr. Wu Lei, I haven't gone there yet. Natasha. Coulson, you made Wu angry, he said he would go back by stairs. Coulson. There are no stairs here. Wu Lei. Find a way yourself, bye. After that, he closed the door, and the portal disappeared. Natasha. Wu, you are so mean. Wu Lei. Who told him to say that? I'm not bad if I don't beat him up. Natasha. Wu, Coulson is actually a pretty good person. There's no need to beat him up. Wu Lei. I know, he just likes to talk a lot, I just don't like it that much. Natasha. Is there anyone more talkative than Peter Parker? Wu Lei. Peter Parker is not talkative, he is nagging or whining. Natasha. If you say that, Peter will be sad if he hears you. Wu Lei. Hey, he's not here. Tony. He's not here, but I heard it. Aren't you afraid that I'll tell him? Wu Lei. You won't. Let's deal with this guy first. Tony. Wu, don't tell me that this person is the Hulk. Wu Lei. Yes, it's him. Tony. An exhibitionist, wearing only a pair of underwear. Wu Lei. Tony, don't keep staring at his pants. In fact, I'm also very curious about his pants. How come his pants have become bigger and other clothes have burst, but only these pants haven't burst? Tony. In fact, I've discovered this a long time ago, I thought you didn't find it. Wu Lei. Why don't you go find a set of clothes and wait for Banner to wake up, we can study it. Tony. Although I don't like to study this kind of thing, I am still very curious, just listen to your 190. Wu Lei. Drive Banner, you finally woke up. Banner. Where is this? Tony. This is Wu in my home, congratulations on being the first exhibitionist to come to our home. Banner. Exhibitionist. Your home. Are you gay? Tony. You are gay, your whole family are gay. Wu Lei. Tony, why are you cursing? You are not speaking clearly. Banner. Hello, my name is Wu Lei, this is my home, and Tony's home, the basements of our two villas are connected, so it can be said that it is also our home. Banner. So that's how it is, I thought you were. Tony. Didn't you watch TV? We are going to have a wedding next week. Banner. You still say you are not gay. You have a wedding, I understand, I won't despise you. Wu Lei. Tony, you don't usually talk like this, why today, oh. Banner is like this, we are indeed going to hold a wedding next week, but it's not what you think, but Xiao Na and I, Tony and Potts will hold a wedding together, because we are brothers, so we want to hold it on the same day. Banner. So that's how it is, I thought Tony Stark, a tall and handsome man and a top billionaire, had a new hobby, he no longer liked women, but liked men. Wu Lei. Banner, how long have you not paid attention to the outside news? I feel like you too disconnected from the outside world. Banner. I have been hiding in the slums of Brazil and just came back recently. By the way, why am I here? Am I not fighting against hatred? Wu Lei. Oh. You are talking about this matter, that happened last night. Banner. Then why am I here? After saying that, he wanted to stand up. Tony. You should change your clothes first. By the way, put the changed pants on the laboratory table over there, and there is a bathroom over there. Banner. Sorry, I will change my clothes first. 0.30 plus. Banner came out of the bathroom and said, sorry, I haven't showered for a long time, so I took a shower while I was here. Wu Lei. It's okay, just put your pants on the lab table. Banner. Why do you care so much about my pants? I just bought this pair of pants from a street vendor in Portugal for only 20 yuan. Tony. You don't need to explain this, I want to study it. Banner. Study. And how did I get here? You didn't say it just now. Wu Lei. You don't have to worry about the research. As for how you got here, of course I knocked you out and carried you back. Banner. Impossible. How could Hulk be knocked out by you when he is so powerful? Wu Lei pretended not to know and said, it turned out that the form was Hulk, but this is not the key issue. Whether he was knocked out by me or not has become a fact. It's your business whether you believe it or not. You can ask the victim or Tony at the time if it's true. If there is a news report, you can also watch TV. Banner. Okay. Wu Lei. Then let's talk about your next plan. Banner. My plan. Of course I will find a place where no one is hiding until my disease is cured. Wu Lei. Banner, do you think that turning into the Hulk is a disease? Banner. I am doing biological research. I can survive being hit by gamma rays, but turning into the Hulk when I get excited is not a disease. Wu Lei. Then what do you think is the probability that people in the world will not die when hit by gamma rays? At the same time, how many people will mutate? Banner. 0. Wu Lei. Yes, it is 0. Then don't you think why is it that being hit by gamma rays and not dying is not accidental but inevitable? Banner. You mean there is a reason why I won't die when being hit by gamma rays? Wu Lei. Bingo, you got it right, but unfortunately there is no reward. Banner said excitedly. Please tell me the reason. I really don't want to become the Hulk anymore. I have done thousands of experiments, and I can't solve it. Wu Lei. Let me tell you first, 2 normal people will think of a solution. The first is to replace all your organs and bones, the second is to die now and then reincarnate. Banner. What? You are not kidding me. Wu Lei. I said it was a solution that normal people would think of, because your symptoms cannot be solved by ordinary methods, because if you don't replace your organs and bones, you can't solve the problem of turning into the Hulk, that is, your DNA problem. As for reincarnation, it is the most perfect solution. Banner said disappointedly. According to what you said, it is impossible for me to return to normal. Wu Lei. Banner, don't be disappointed, don't you want to be with Betty? Banner. I really want to, but in my current state, how can I see Betty and live with her? Wu Lei. Then let me ask you something. If I let you join the League of Legends to maintain world peace and deal with supernatural phenomena together, on the condition that your problem is solved, are you willing? Banner's eyes lit up when he heard Wu Lei say this, and he quickly said, I am willing, I am very willing, please tell me how to solve my physical problem. Wu Lei. Then I will tell you with a non-normal solution. Banner. Non-normal solution. Wu Lei. Yes, I will give you a few solutions. First, we use the medical cabin to completely solve your physical problems, and solve your physical problems forever, but when you are in danger. Or your girlfriend is in danger and you can't protect her or do anything about it. Second, remove your ability to transform into the Hulk from your body and turn it into a transformation device. You can transform whenever you want and cancel whenever you want. You can protect the world and your family. Now you start to choose. Banner. You said you want to maintain world peace and deal with supernatural phenomena. Do I have any choice? I can only choose the second one. Wu Lei. Okay, now I will give you several transformation devices to choose from. The first one, the Sailor Moon transformation device. The second one, the Kamen Rider Decade transformation device. The third one, the Ultraman transformation device. Which one do you want to choose? Banner. What is this? Tony. Alas. A person without a childhood, please look at the big screen. I will popularize the origins of these 3 transformations for you. The big screen started playing, and Banner watched the animation of the first transformation device. The more he watched, the more embarrassed he felt. If he transformed like this, he might as well die. He would not be able to see anyone. The second and third ones are still better, but the second one is obviously cooler. Banner. I choose the second one. Wu Lei. Okay, then I will tell you about the transformation conditions, transformation ability and how to collect abilities. The transformation conditions are similar to the movie. The transformation ability is the current ability of Hulk. As for how to collect abilities, when you kill a superpower criminal, a card will drop from his body, and the card will be equipped after you transform into Hulk. There are 2 cards at the beginning, one is the Hulk card and the other is the Anger card. You can treat the Anger card as a bonus card to increase attack power. The first use is level 1, and each use will increase it a little bit, with no upper limit. The transformer will be permanently equipped on you, only you can use it, and others can't take it away. The transformer can not only transform, but also increase your lifespan. It is not afraid of poison, fire, or explosion, and will never be destroyed. The card slot can hold up to 54 cards. I will give you a treasure bag to store the extra cards. Are you satisfied with my arrangement? Banner. Yes, anything is fine as long as it can solve the problem. Tony. Needless to say, let me solve everything. Wu Lei. Tony, don't flatter me, there are some things I still can't solve. Wu Lei thought for a while, checked the tablet again, and then drew the magic extraction book in the movie Holy Grail artifact but modified it. After completely extracting the Hulk from Banner's body, he changed it into the transformation card in the TV series Kamen Rider Decade, and eliminated all the uncontrollable factors of Hulk, making it Banner dominated. Then he drew the Kamen Rider Decade Transformer Rage card, and at the same time noted all the conditions for collecting ability cards and the conditions just mentioned. Wu Lei. Banner, 0.1, now try it, can you still turn into Hulk when you get excited? After Banner heard what Wu Lei said, he started to beat himself or get excited. No matter what he did, he couldn't turn into Hulk. Finally, he drew his own blood and began to check his DNA under the microscope in Tony's laboratory. Only then did he find out that I have become a normal person. Banner. Thank you so much, now I can be with Betty again. Wu Lei. Drive Banner, this is your Kamen Rider Decade Transformer and 2 cards, and this is the treasure bag, please keep it. From now on, we are all members of the same team. Let me formally explain that I am the captain of the League of Legends, Wandering Painter, and my real name is Wu Lei. Tony. I am the vice captain of the League of Legends, Iron Man. Banner. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be reborn, so from now on I will be a member of the League of Legends, please call me the Hulk. Wu Lei. Okay, our team has added another member, Banner, you don't have to hide anymore, live well with Betty, when something happens, I will notify you to come over, the transformer has a communication function. Banner. Okay, Captain. Wu Lei. By the way, don't worry about bursting your clothes when you transform into Hulk, I have already painted a uniform for Hulk in the Hulk state. Banner wiped his tears and said, I will no longer be an exhibitionist. Wu Lei. Drive Banner, congratulations on joining the League of Legends. Tony. Drive Banner, congratulations on becoming one of us. Banner. You're welcome. I'm very willing to do my part for Blue Star. As long as it's not illegal, I'll do my best. Wu Lei. Okay, then let's go to the underground test room to test your strength. Banner. Do you have this kind of equipment? Wu Lei. We not only have a test room, but also a time gravity room. There are 2 types of time gravity rooms. One is 10 years inside for 1 day outside, and the other is 100 years inside for 1 day outside. Entering will not affect your lifespan. Gravity is supreme limit. As long as you can hold on, gravity will continue to rise according to your ideas. Food is also unlimited. Banner. Impossible, this does not conform to the laws of science. Tony. It does not conform to the laws of science, haha, I was the same as you at the beginning, but now I have seen it too much, I am used to it. You talk about science with Wu Lei, don't think about it, he will subvert your cognition, look at the Kamen Rider Decade Transformer and treasure bag on your waist, can it be explained by common sense? And can you use current science and medicine to solve your problems? Obviously not, but Wu Lei can easily solve it, or just write and draw it out of thin air. Banner. Tony, is your steel armor drawn by Wu Lei? Tony. No, I just asked him to draw some fantasy technology from movies, anime or TV shows, and then I studied it. Except for my current ability, he created it for me. Banner. Do you have other abilities? Tony. Yes, for example, the Devil Fruit ability in the anime, One Piece Kakarot's Saiyan Blood 06 in the anime, Dragon Ball, these are drawn by Wu Lei for me. And then we go to the time gravity house to get familiar with abilities, skills, and transformations. Banner. Wow, this way we can mass produce superpowers. Wu Lei. Yes and no, I will only recruit people who have a sense of justice, teamwork, obey arrangements, obey management, love the blue planet, and protect humanity, but I also have a limit on the number of people. Banner. That's good, otherwise the world will be in chaos. Tony. Let's go. First try your strength when you are not familiar with your abilities. Banner. Okay, I only heard Banner say, transform, and instantly turned into the Hulk. Tony. Not bad, very sci-fi. Banner. It's amazing, since I can control the Hulk, I feel full of strength. Wu Lei. How about trying the abnormal power first, use the rage card again. Banner. Okay, and he hit the target with all his strength, and a line of values instantly appeared on the display. Wu Lei, not bad, you have the strength of a god of war. Keep going. Then Banner inserted the rage card and attacked with all his strength again. Tony, wow, they have the strength of a primary star, and they are about to catch up with me. No, I have to go in and practice later. Wu Lei, Banner, change back. After Banner released the transformation, he said, thank you Wu Lei, you changed me. Wu Lei, no need to say thank you, as long as you don't go against what you just said, you will always be normal. Banner, I will. Wu Lei, okay, now you go upstairs and choose a time gravity room to familiarize yourself with your abilities. You also put a set of skills called the Navy 6 styles in the transformation device, and you learn them together. Tony happens to go there to practice, and he will teach you how to operate it. Tony, Banner, let's go. Kitchen. Wu Lei saw Natasha making lunch, and hugged Natasha's waist from behind. Natasha was about to elbow Natasha without paying attention. This is also the muscle reaction that Natasha has trained for so many years, but Wu Lei's hand easily blocked it. Xiao Na, do you want to murder your husband? Natasha heard that it was Wu Lei's voice, and immediately turned around to check if he hit Wu Lei. Husband, I'm sorry, where it hurts. Wu Lei started to tease Natasha and said, ouch, my hand hurts so much, my arm hurts so much, my shoulder seems to be dislocated, I guess it's fractured, oh, my heart hurts so much, oh, I fainted. Natasha didn't react when she heard it, she supported Wu Lei and said nervously, husband, I will help you to the bed now, I will call the doctor immediately. Natasha turned off the gas stove and helped Wu Lei step by step back to the bedroom, while Wu Lei was still holding back his laughter. Natasha thought Wu Lei was forcing a smile, and thought Wu Lei was enduring the pain to avoid being nervous. Until they reached the bedside, Natasha just helped Wu Lei to the bed, and Wu Lei pulled her hand, and she fell on the bed before she realized it. Natasha, husband, you lied to me. Wu Lei, hey, who told you to be so cautious at home, and you beat your husband, let me teach you. Not suitable for children, 10,000 words omitted. In the evening. Jarvis, Mr. Wu Lei, Mr. Stark notified you to go to the underground laboratory. Wu Lei, tell him to wait. Natasha, husband, you'd better go. Wu Lei, we haven't decided the winner yet. Natasha blushed and said, let's talk about it in the evening. Wu Lei, it's already evening now. Natasha, we didn't have lunch yet, aren't you hungry? Wu Lei, that's right, I'll go over there, you don't have to be too tired, just order takeout tonight. Natasha, no, I'll make dinner later. Wu Lei, no, you can't be too tired, forget about that. Natasha, hubby, we can't waste food. Wu Lei, then make less. Natasha, got it, you should go over there first. Wu Lei got up from the bed, kissed Natasha's forehead gently, and started to put on his clothes and went to the basement. Test room. Wu Lei, how come it came out so quickly? It seems like less than 10 hours. Tony, haha, this time I am finally not at the end, my current strength is the strength of the domain master. Wu Lei, oh, then keep it up. Tony, why are you not surprised at all? Wu Lei, have you forgotten that I have the strength of the universe master? Banner, what? Wu Lei, you have the strength of the universe master, I thought Tony was already strong enough, but I didn't expect you to be stronger than us, I am only at the universe level. Wu Lei, what are you surprised about? The stronger the strength, the better it will be. Is it wrong to protect the blue planet? Banner, forget it, there is a saying in China, when the sky falls, there are tall people to hold it up. Tony, why do I feel that it makes sense? Why should I practice so hard? I should study my steel armor and it will be better. Wu Lei, hey, Tony, how can you do this? After all, you are the vice captain of the League of Legends. How can you say such irresponsible words? Is this worthy of the name of Iron Man? What is our goal? Have you forgotten? Tony, hey, brother, don't take it so seriously. I just want to liven up the atmosphere and make a joke just a joke. Wu Lei, Tony, if I didn't know your temper, I would have turned against you a long time ago. I hope you won't tell such cold jokes in the future. You need to practice your jokes. Tony, I know my brother won't mind. And is the joke I told really not funny? Wu Lei, what do you think? According to what Banner said just now, if it is changed into a joke, it should be, Banner, you are not talking about yourself. You are 3 stories tall after your transformation, no wonder you say that there are tall people to hold up the sky when it falls. Tony. Ha ha ha, interesting, interesting. Banner. Ha ha ha, although this sentence does not mean this, it is indeed a joke after being changed. Tony. What is the original meaning of this sentence? Wu Lei. If we interpret it according to what we just said, it means that when we encounter a strong enemy, the strongest person in our team will rush forward. If we don't interpret it according to what we said, it will really be the sky falling down, and there are tall people to hold it up. Tony. I understand, brother, I won't let you rush forward alone, I will accompany you to face all dangers and defeat the enemy together. Wu Lei. I believe you. Banner. Since we are a team, I will also do my part. Tony. Work together. Wu Lei. Well, since everyone has this determination, I will continue to work hard to practice the 3 kinds of Saiyan transformation. Tony. Wu, your strength is already strong enough, why do you still need to practice? There is no one on Blue Star who can match you. Even if there is, you can't gather 5 people with Saiyan blood. Wu Lei. There are no strong people on Blue Star, but I don't know about those outside of Blue Star. As the saying goes, it's better to be prepared. As for the 5 people with Saiyan blood, it's really impossible to gather them. At present, there are only you, Potts, Ben Parker, Happy, no, they are all here. Tony. Who else has it? Wu Lei. My fiancé, Natasha. Tony. Then we have them all, we can give it a try. Banner. Wu Lei, you said there are powerful enemies outside the blue planet, is this true? Wu Lei dare not reveal that there will be alien invasions in the future, such as Thor, the Dark Elves, or Dormammu and Thanos. He can only say, I don't know, but I am sure that there is no other civilization in the vast universe outside the blue planet. It is possible that their technology is a million years higher than ours or their strength is stronger than ours. We are countless times stronger. Tony. I agree with this point. Banner. I agree too. Wu Lei. So we must not only be strong ourselves, but also drive the development of Blue Star technology. Then where should we act? Wu Lei. Start with air, water and pollution problems. Tony. These are a bit difficult. Wu, help me draw some technology to solve this problem, I want to study it carefully. Wu Lei. Okay, we can study it together when we have time. Is there any similar technology in my tablet? Banner. Actually, I might help. Wu Lei. Banner, I know you want to help now. Don't be nervous, the most important thing is not yet completed. Banner. What's the matter? Wu Lei. Eat. Do you feel hungry? Banner. I'm not hungry. I just came out of the time gravity room. Wu Lei. You are not hungry, but I am hungry. Tony. Are you hungry? Tony. I came out earlier than Banner and I'm a little hungry now. Wu Lei. Then why don't you go eat? There is a saying, if you are not active in eating, there is something wrong with your brain. Tony. Is there such a saying? Banner. I haven't heard it. Wu Lei. Now you've heard it, I don't care about you. The most important thing for me now is to go to dinner. Tony. You're not inviting me. Wu Lei. Go find Potts, don't disturb me in Shao Na's world of 2. Tony. You've got a wife and you've forgotten your brothers. You really have no humanity when it comes to the opposite. Wu Lei stopped talking, waved his hand and walked out of the basement. Tony. Banner, I'm going to dinner too, what about you? Banner. I don't know where to go now, I want to go find my girlfriend. Tony. Then go, you are fine now. Banner. But I am a little worried that Betty's father will catch me and study me. Tony. Is Betty's father Ross? Banner. Yes. Tony. Let's go, you are normal now anyway. Call your girlfriend now, I will ask Potts to go with you, and have a meal together. Banner. Is this okay? Tony. What's wrong with that? We are the League of Legends, and we are also normal people. Maybe we can hold a wedding together. Banner. Aren't you worried that Ross will come to make trouble? Tony. Haha, he can't even protect himself now, how can he care about us? Even if he comes, I'm not afraid. He borrowed 2 ultrasound cars from me and hasn't returned them yet. Although you damaged them, he has to pay for them. Banner. Sorry, I can't buy your ultrasound cars. Tony. It's okay, I don't care about that kind of toy car. Banner. Thank you, I'll call Betty now. Wu Lei. It smells so good. Xiao Na, these are did you make it? Natasha. I didn't make it, did you order takeout? Wu Lei. No, no. I mean the dinner you make is better than the chefs in Michelin restaurants. Natasha. Really? I learned the cooking skills in my spare time in the past few decades. Wu Lei. Then I want to taste it carefully. Natasha. Early in the morning, Wu Lei and Natasha were resting in bed, and they were disturbed by Jarvis' voice before they got up. Jarvis. Mr. Wu Lei, Mr. Stark, I have something to discuss with you. Wu Lei looked at the alarm clock on the bedside and said, what are you doing? Why are you disturbing my sleep again? I just went to bed less than 2 hours ago. Jarvis. Mr. Wu Lei, I'm sorry, Tony said it's urgent and needs to discuss with you. Wu Lei heard it was urgent and said quickly, tell Tony to wait for me, I'll be there soon. Natasha. Honey, what's wrong? Wu Lei. Jarvis said there's something urgent to discuss. Natasha felt that something might have happened when she heard it. She said quickly, honey, I'll go with you. The two of them quickly put on their clothes and came to Tony's villa living room. Wu Lei. What happened? Tony. Ha ha ha, I told you, we will definitely come right away if I say that. Banner. You still have a way. Natasha. Tony, what are you doing? Wu Lei. Tony, I'm very angry now. You'd better give me an explanation, otherwise I won't come next time no matter how you call me. Natasha. Me too. Potts. I always say Wu will be angry, so it's better to use the old method and call him Wu in the past. Betty. Mr. Stark, haven't you heard the Chinese fairy tale, Wolf is Coming? Tony. What's the story of the Chinese fairy tale, Wolf is Coming? Betty. There was a child herding sheep. For fun, he lied about the military intelligence that a wolf was coming. The villagers thought a wolf was coming and came to help. After many false reports, no one came to help when the wolf came, and the child and the sheep were eaten by the wolf. Tony. Then why isn't it a drill that the kids prepared for the villagers? Betty. Mr. Stark, this story is about being honest and not lying, not about being prepared to be alert when the wolf comes. Banner. Tony, Betty is right. Potts. Don't mess around next time. If something really happens one day and no one comes to help, then there's really nothing you can do. Tony. Okay, I won't use this method next time. I'll use other methods to call Wu. And you two didn't stop me just now. Wu Lei. Tony, what's going on? Tony. Our base has been taken care of. Wu Lei. So fast. I remember it was only a few days. Tony. I asked several construction teams from China to come and build it. I have to say that your title of infrastructure maniacs is not wrong. At that time, I thought it was a shoddy project, and I asked the inspection team to go over. Today, the news I got is that all of them passed, and the safety reached 100%. I am now completely convinced. Wu Lei. Of course, that means our base has completed 3. Tony. Not yet, now we just need to notify the great painters and great remodelers to come and complete the last step for our base. Banner said puzzledly. Isn't it all done? Natasha also said puzzledly. What else do you want my husband to do? Potts. Natasha, you've already called your husband before you even got married. Natasha blushed and said, you'll have to call him sooner or later, just get familiar with him 10 times. Tony. Maybe the only people present here who know this are me, Potts and Wu, but no one else knows yet. What do you think of our 3 villas? Very beautiful, very comfortable, especially the Sky Garden, which is the best, we all like it very much. Tony. You may not know, there was no Sky Garden there originally. Tony. You mean Wu Lei drew it? Tony. Yes, Wu drew it, and he drew it out of thin air, and there are also floors 2 to 5 of the underground laboratory. I can tell you that even if a nuclear missile attacks here, the 3 villas will not be affected at all. What? What kind of black technology does this villa have? Tony. Hey, I'll tell you, don't tell anyone. No problem, we promise not to tell anyone. Tony. Especially Natasha and Betty, don't tell anyone behind your back. Wu Lei. My Xiao Na, I won't tell anyone, she is also a member of the League of Legends. Banner. Excuse me, can my girlfriend Betty also join the League of Legends? Tony. Yes, as long as she loves you and never separates, I will promise you. Betty. I love Banner. I will never love anyone else in my life. I would rather die without him. I have been separated from him for too long, and I don't want to be separated from him again. 1. Tony. Haha, after investigation, you and Banner have only been separated for less than 2 years, which is only 1/35 of Wu and Natasha. What? 70 years apart? It doesn't look like it, they are still very young. Potts. The fact is this. It turned out to be a love across time and space, but it was really hard for them. One was brainwashed and transformed, and the other wandered around looking for a way back. Natasha. Betty, I heard that you and Banner are a couple. When are you getting married? Betty secretly glanced at Banner and whispered, I'm still waiting for his answer. Wu Lei. Banner, what are you still doing? Why don't you propose? Banner. But I'm unemployed now and can't support my family. Wu Lei. What's the big deal? You and Betty are both university professors, and you are both doing biological research. In the future, you will definitely encounter alien creatures in the League of Legends. Just set up a biological research laboratory in our base. Tony and I can give you a research direction or subject, and we will pay you a salary every month. Tony. That makes sense. What should we study? Wu Lei. I have several directions. We will definitely face a lot of battles in the future, and injuries are inevitable. So the first research direction is items that replenish physical strength and recover from injuries. The second is that we may add magic personnel in the future, and then we need to restore magic or mana. Items. I'll talk about the third one when I think of it. Tony. Good Jiao, are you talking about the senzu beans, recovery potions, physical potions and magic potions in the anime? Wu Lei. Yes, these are all necessary items for us when we fight, but if we are at the base, there is no need to waste them, we can use the medical cabin. Tony. Well, these are all very important items. Banner. I understand what you said, but we don't have samples to study. Wu Lei. These will be studied by you when the time comes, so your work problems will be solved. What else do you have to worry about? Banner said embarrassedly, since you want to propose, but I am not prepared. Wu Lei. Isn't this easy? Come on, I draw it for you. What color or style does Betty like? Banner told Betty the color and style she liked. Wu Lei drew it bit by bit according to Banner's requirements, and soon the ring was formed. In order to add to the atmosphere, he drew a bunch of roses. Wu Lei. No problem now. Banner. I want to ask, since Betty has also joined the League of Legends, can you also give her an ability? Wu Lei. Small problem, and there are still questions. Banner. No at the moment. Tony. No problem, then why don't you propose quickly? Why are you still standing there stupidly? Under everyone's witness, Banner finally knelt down on one knee to propose, and Betty and Banner also agreed to get married together at that time. Wu Lei. Tony, now that Banner and Betty's life events have been finalized, it's your turn to take us to the base. Tony. No problem, but you haven't given me the portal yet. Wu Lei. That's right, today is a good day. I'll give you the treasure bag, portal, and combat uniforms. Tony, call Happy and Ben over. As for Peter Parker, he's still in school, don't disturb him. Tony followed Wu Lei's request and quickly called Happy and Ben Parker to come over. In order to wait for the two to arrive, Wu Lei also distributed the things first. Everyone was very happy and said that shopping and strolling would be much easier in the future. The happiest person was Natasha, because she had an extra outfit that could change clothes at any time and a communication bracelet to call Babada. Potts and Betty were all happy. Very envious, but the two knew that this was Wu Lei's exclusive gift to Natasha. Wu Lei. Okay, now we're waiting for Happy and Ben Parker to come over. Let's wait here for a while and then go together. Betty, since you are going to join the League of Legends, I still have to say it again. We are protecting Blue Star and dealing with supernatural events. We must not commit crimes, bully the weak, or cause division. Betty. Mr. Wu Lei, Banner has told me that I understand and will abide by it. Wu Lei. Okay, I am the captain of the League of Legends, Tony is the vice captain of the League of Legends, and the combat members are me, Tony, Ben Parker, Happy, Peter Parker and Banner, and the logistics staff are Natasha, Potts and you. If you join, you must have some ability. Do you have the ability you want? Betty. Can I join with Banner? Like nah, it can transform, but I don't want to become a big guy. Wu Lei thought for a while and said, okay, I'll give you a few choices. The first is Magic Anime Sailor Moon, the second is Magic Anime Cardcaptor Sakura, the third is Science Fiction Anime Digimon 4 Unlimited, the fourth is Magic Anime Pretty Cure. Start choosing now. Betty. Are there no others? Wu Lei. Yes, but they are not suitable for you, such as Iron Warrior, Light Messenger, Armor Hero, and many more. Betty. Why are they not suitable for me? Can 997 tell me? Wu Lei. Since you want to know, I'll tell you. For example, anime Iron Warrior must have a part of the body that is mechanical. Light Messenger summons a magic mecha. If it is, I don't mind the universe, but I can't do it on Blue Star. Armor Hero has certain requirements for physical fitness. Let's consider the above 4 options. Betty. But I haven't watched anime. I can't choose. Tony. It's easy, watch TV, I'll do the casting. Now I often watch anime. And in the future, when my and Pot's children ask me which anime is good, I can tell them. Potts. You are watching anime to see if there is any technology you like. Banner. It can be like this. Tony. Otherwise, let Betty watch anime first. After half an hour, Betty finally made up her mind. Betty. I've decided, anime Digimon 4 Unlimited. Wu Lei. Okay, but I will modify the Tyrannosaurus for you and add combat partners, okay. Betty. Modify the Tyrannosaurus. Add a combat partner. Wu Lei. Modify the Tyrannosaurus to increase your ability to transform. For example, the level 1 humanoid fighting spirit is Ferrymon, the level 2 beast fighting spirit is Shoesman, the level 3 fusion double spirit is Jet Sylphman, and the level 4 is Ancient Rainbowmon. Then there will be no level 5 and 6. I will add a self-created mode for you. In other words, if you want to improve your strength, you can transform in the known transformation mode. As for the combat partner, it's like in the anime Digimon 1, there is a Digimon to accompany you. Betty. Well, this is good. I have watched a little bit of the anime Digimon 1, and I want the Tailman. Wu Lei. Okay, I will mark the Tyrannosaurus as never being destroyed, with a bonus lifespan. After wearing it, you are not afraid of poison, heat, or cold. You can survive in the vacuum environment of the universe, and it will never leave you. Only you can use it. Are you satisfied with this? Betty. Satisfied. After Wu Lei finished explaining all the precautions, he began to draw. During this period, Happy and Ben Parker also came over and watched Wu Lei drawing abilities for a new member. They watched quietly. Wu Lei handed the digital machine to Betty. Okay, fingerprint recognition here first. After your fingerprint recognition, the Tyrannosaurus will bind your soul. After you bind, press the first button to let the Tyrannosaurus start hatching the digital egg. Betty. Okay, can you transform after binding? Wu Lei. Yes, but you still need to be familiar with each stage of transformation. When the time comes, let Banner take you to the time gravity house to familiarize yourself with the abilities. Banner. Betty, you have to be familiar with abilities and skills. Nothing can be done in one go. Betty. Banner, I understand. Take me there later. Tony. Okay, now that everyone is here, let's go to our base. When Tony opened the arbitrary door, there is a wide square, and in the distance there is a 6-story building covering an area of 40,000 square meters. Tony. This is our League of Legends base, covering an area of 150,000 square meters, or 225 acres, located in the desert outside Las Vegas, Nevada. The location is very good, the sandstorm is not so serious, and the water resources are relatively abundant. I can build a reactor for energy. In order to prevent the sandstorm in the future, I still need you to solve the problem. Wu Lei. I know it, forget it, you build the base here, then there must be branch bases in other places. Tony. The one who knows me is still my brother. Yes, there are still branch bases. This is the headquarters. We will build a large space gate or any gate at that time, and we can go back and forth between the two sides. As for the first space gate, it is in New York. I bought a manor, which is also the dormitory for everyone's employees. Although we all have any gates, in order not to be exposed, we usually use the manor's space gate or any gate. Wu Lei. Let me add that, in addition to us, I am the headquarter staff, so it is easy to manage. We only need 108 people in the League of Legends, 36 people in the headquarters, and the remaining 72 people will investigate supernatural events in various parts of the United States, and then report them to the headquarters. We can carry out the tasks assigned by the headquarters. Natasha. This is not appropriate. 36 people in the headquarters are fine, but there are too many people working outside. The 72 people must be reasonably allocated. For example, 12 people are enough to organize and classify in the branch and report to the headquarters for logistics support. The remaining 60 people will go outside to investigate, and these 60 people do not need to be too strong, but they must have partners. Potts. Professional is professional, so we will not be too hard at the headquarters. Betty. What about medical staff? Tony. This is simple. I called back Ethan Ageg, who is now in China, and as for nurses, we need to recruit. Wu Lei. No need to go through so much trouble. For the partners, nurses, and cleaners who are out there, I think the most suitable candidates are from anime Pokemon. They are the most suitable. As for the headquarters security, then Pokemon, Digimon, and Tony's robots. Tony. Okay. I'll let Jarvis go. He already has a body, and I'll get some steel armor to go over there. Wu Lei. Now that the personnel matching has been considered, I'm going to talk about how I plan to transform the base. First, I'll paint all the materials of the base into vibranium, and the exterior will have 4 layers of defense protection: physical, magic, invisibility, network. Defensive attack means we'll have light prism tower, laser tower. There are currently 2 floors underground, but I will continue to draw 4 floors. The bottom is the largest, can reserve space for future space battleships. Tony. Wow, it's incredible. I want to see more and more what our future base will be like. Wu Lei. I haven't finished yet. In order to prevent people outside from being confused, I will extend the office building outside to the base, and only by invitation can you enter through the gate. If you don't have it, then I'm sorry. Stay outside. If we use force, I'll be embarrassed. Natasha. My husband is really thoughtful. Wu Lei. No problem. If there are any, you can bring them up. If the base needs to be renovated, you can say it now, and you can bring it up later. We have no problem. Wu Lei. Okay, I'll start drawing now. If you want to practice in the future, you can go to the time gravity room at the headquarters. If you want to PK, you can go to the virtual space room. If you don't want to go to the virtual space, you can go to the square outside to fight in person. No problem. Wu Lei sat at the gate and started drawing to renovate the base, and Natasha was there accompanying them. Some people just wandered around the base, and some people, like Natasha, sat aside and watched Wu Lei draw and transform the base. Ben Parker also went to pick up Peter Parker during this period. Peter Parker came to the base like a wild horse running around. It was not until Wu Lei drew the last Pokeball that it ended. Among all the Pokeballs, there are 12 Master Balls, and these 12 Master Balls are Mewtwo, Rayquaza, Ho-Oh, Arceus, Groudon, Zygarde, Celebi, Deosis, Latios, Mew, Xerneas, and Nightmare God, distributed in the base. Every corner of the land, all obey Wu Lei, although others can also command, but only under the premise of not betraying Wu Lei. This is also a guarantee made by Wu Lei himself. As for Digimon, only the partners of the protagonists of Digimon 1 to Digimon 3 are arranged, and this part is handed over to Babata to manage. Wu Lei. Finally finished. Tony. Finished, so fast. Wu Lei. What if I don't let you? How long will it take to draw? Natasha. Husband, you have worked hard. Tony. Why don't I see Digimon and Pokemon? Wu Lei. In the Pokemon guard in the management room. We have to go and see too. Everyone came to the Pokemon storage room. Wu Lei. The room on the left is the headquarters, security Pokemon and logistics Pokemon. The top ones are the 12 most powerful Pokemon, and the ones below are the subordinates of the 12 Pokemon, a total of 72. The room on the right has 72 partners of the exploration team. Can you open the 72 Pokemon in the headquarters? Wu Lei. Sure, anyway, I have also drawn where they live and where they eat. Tony. What about the Digimon? Wu Lei. Don't worry about it, it's still incubating, no so fast. Everyone came to the square with Pokeballs and started to release them. Wow, it's so spectacular. That Pokemon is so cute. Wu Lei. How is it? Not bad. Tony. Will they go to the designated place? Wu Lei. I have written down the location. They are here to line up for you to see, and then they will go to their own area. Tony. It feels like a military parade. Wu Lei. It's about the same. Can we have one too? Wu Lei. Probably not. These are too large to be brought to the community. I will go. I gave the exploration team some relatively small ones. Even if they evolve, they will not be too large. Even if they become huge, I have adjusted them to a reasonable size. Natasha. It is most important not to cause social panic. Wu Lei. If you want, you can raise a dog or a cat. I will let you understand what it is saying, just like my dog reborn. Okay, we will go and pick it. Tony. We don't need it. Anyway, I am not far from Wu's home. Reborn is enough. Wu Lei. Natasha and I will go back. You can do whatever you want. Time passed in a flash, and finally arrived at the wedding day. Today's wedding is the most important day for the three couples. Wu Lei and Natasha have no family in this world. The only friends and brothers are Ben Parker's family. As for Tony, he is also getting married today. He also has no relatives. The only ones who come are business partners and Rhodey, his only brother. But the two still have a common friend Ethan, but now they have to run between the two sides. Wu Lei's relatives, except for Ben Parker's family and Nick Fury's team of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you want to say the largest number of relatives, it is Banner and Betty's side, not only military personnel, university teachers, and police officers. The military personnel are Ross's former subordinates, and the police officers are his current subordinates. Because of the last incident on Broadway, Ross fell from a high-ranking general to a small New York branch chief, but now he has a stern face. Chinese wedding MC. Dear guests, as the host today, I feel very honored, because I have to hold the wedding of three couples at the same time. On this special stage, first I want to explain this fan-shaped wedding stage. First from left to right, Western wedding, Chinese wedding, Western wedding. Before the ceremony begins, I hope to talk to friends present friends, we have a brief communication. For the smooth progress of the wedding, please try to reduce the communication and movement between each other during the ceremony. However, our sincere blessings are still very necessary during the ceremony. I hope that everyone can turn the very beautiful blessings into warm applause to the newlyweds during the ceremony. Now the newlyweds are ready, and our camera teachers are also ready. They have to record the smiles and applause of each guest through the camera, so I hope everyone can cooperate with me and give the first warm applause of the audience to the three couples under my leadership. Please ask our sound engineer to play some music so that we clapped our hands in rhythm with the music. Now we welcome the first couple, Mr. Wu Lei and Ms. Natasha. Come on, get ready. 1, 2, 3, applause. 30 seconds of long applause for the first couple. Quote. Wu Lei and Natasha followed the traditional Chinese wedding, step by step, following the traditional culture of setting the sky and the earth, holding the red silk, crossing the fire basin, worshipping the heaven and earth, picking up the veil, drinking wine together. After completing all the steps of the traditional wedding, they stood in the passage connecting the middle stage and watched the wedding of Tony and Potts, as well as the wedding of Banner and Betty, quietly. After everything was over, the three couples left. Go to the dressing room at the back, change into normal clothes, and start to entertain guests and relatives. Nick Fury. Wu Lei, Natasha, congratulations. Hawkeye. Xiao Na, congratulations. Nick Fury. Hawkeye, you should change the way you address Natasha. Natasha. It's okay, after all, we have been partners for so many years. Coulson. Natasha, you can't say that, after all, you have waited so long to recover your memory and find your lover, don't let a name break up your family. Natasha. My husband shouldn't mind. Nick Fury. Natasha, what do you think? Hawkeye. Director, what's going on? Coulson. It's not convenient to talk here, let's go back and talk about it. Nick Fury. Hawkeye, you have been on a mission outside, and it's time for you to know about your affairs. I will tell you after I go back. Wu Lei. Director Nick, Natasha and I are going to Tony's place, so we won't accompany you. Nick Fury. You have your work to do today, go ahead. Wu Lei. Tony, congratulations. Tony. Brother, you are here, congratulations too. Wu Lei. Ethan, are you used to China? Ethan. Not bad, I learned a lot from studying Chinese medicine in China. Tony. Do you still want to go back? Ethan. If you hadn't gotten married, I wouldn't have come back. I still have courses to study over there. Tony. Ethan, you don't have to go back. We need you here and have prepared a medical department for you. Ethan. Is it the alliance you mentioned? Tony. Yes, the newlyweds Banner and Betty over there are also members of our League of Legends. If a supernatural event occurs, Banner will become a combat member. If nothing happens, they will be researchers in the biological research laboratory. Ethan. Very powerful, but my medical skills are still not good enough. Tony. If you can't, there is Wu. He will help you solve this problem. Wu Lei. Tony. Don't say this in public. Ethan. It's okay. If you want to learn, I can help you. At the same time, I will put it into your brain at once. Not only knowledge and various treatment experiences, but also medical abilities. By the way, I have prepared your assistants and nurses over there. Ethan. Really? Wu Lei, is it true? You have also seen the function of the medical cabin. Ethan. Okay, I will join. Tony. That's good. Wu Lei. Tony, you see Banner seems to have some problems, let's go over and take a look. Tony. Oh, Ross still doesn't like Banner. Wu Lei. Banner, Betty, congratulations. We congratulate you too. Wu Lei. Banner, is this your father-in-law? Betty. Banner, let me introduce you, Mr. Wu Lei, this is my father, his name is Ross. Wu Lei. Hello, Uncle Ross. Thank you for taking the time to come to our wedding. Ross said with a look of disgust. I don't even want to come, but it's hard for my daughter to marry this monster. Wu Lei. Uncle, even if you don't like Banner, you can't say that about him, he's still in front of us. Looking back at Tony. Tony, you go and entertain the guests with Banner first, I'll talk to Uncle. Tony knew that Wu Lei wanted to solve Banner's problem and make Banner and Betty's life better in the future. Wu Lei. Uncle, we can have a good chat now, why don't you like Banner? Ross. Haha, there's no need to send him away, he's a monster, when he gets angry he'll turn into the Hulk. Wu Lei. You're talking about this. Uncle, you can rest assured, Banner's problem has been completely solved, he won't turn into the Hulk in the future. Through our Stark company's technology, this problem of turning into the Hulk has been transformed into an alternative armor. You can treat it as Banner wearing a large puppet costume, but he still has the previous strength. And he is still Banner's mind. Ross. What? Impossible, impossible, current medical technology can't do this. Wu Lei. Uncle, but nothing is absolute, you don't have to try to extract Banner's blood for research. If we can't solve it thoroughly, we can't put people who endanger society back into society to endanger the masses. You can rest assured that Banner will take good care of your daughter in the future, after all, they are married. Rose. Why don't you hand over the transformation device to the country? Wu Lei. Why should I hand it over to the country? Haha. Banner has joined the League of Legends, isn't it more appropriate to give it to him? Rose said angrily. You are an illegal organization, I will arrest you according to the law. Wu Lei. If protecting Blue Star and dealing with supernatural disasters on Blue Star is also called an illegal organization, then your military is a terrorist, and there are also from what organization is the alien invasion of Blue Star. I believe you should know about the alien invasion incident 10 years ago. Can the weapons on Blue Star fight against the fleet of the Kree Empire? We don't even have a space battleship, how can we resist aliens? Shouldn't you think about how to make the world less war-prone? The key is 0. Rose grabbed Wu Lei's collar angrily and said, Boy, how did you know? Wu Lei. How should I know? Don't think that you politicians can fool all mankind with your words. Besides, I am the second largest shareholder of Stark Company. It is very easy for me to know something. Rose let go of Wu Lei's collar and said, What do you want to do? Wu Lei. I don't want to do anything, just I remind you that we humans are not the enemy. The real enemy is outside the blue planet. If you still covet a piece of land on the blue planet, it is better to unite people from all over the world and grow together. No matter what superpowers and mutants appear on the blue planet, as long as they are from the blue planet and do not harm the blue planet, we can work together to expand the territory outside the blue planet and defeat the enemies that invade the blue planet. This is the key. Do you want the technology of the blue planet to stop forever? 0. Rose. Although what you said makes a lot of sense, how can I know when the aliens will invade the blue planet? I may never wait for it in my lifetime. In order to make Ross believe his words, Wu-Lei had to be a charlatan. I believe you know Nick Fury of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I say yes, the future of Blue Star is full of disasters. If you return to your original position before these things happen, you will disappear from this world with the civilians. Rose. Who are you? Wu-Lei. As for me, some people call me a prophet, but I like others to call me a wanderer home. Rose said angrily. It turned out that it was you, the kid, who made me what I am now. Wu-Lei. Uncle, I am helping you, otherwise you would be killed by others, and you would still work for them. Rose was instantly upset and said, Who? Wu-Lei whispered, Hydra, they are about to attack you. If I hadn't helped you, you would have died long ago. You would still be alive today. Look at you, don't worry about your daughter getting married. Your daughter has also joined the League of Legends and we will protect her. Hydra can't attack her yet. Rose. If they dare, I will kill them directly. Wu-Lei. Haha, do you have the ability to kill them? Don't kill them before you kill them. Do you know where they are? How many people are there? Rose. This. What should I do next? Wu-Lei. Find a way to get back to your original position first. As for Banner and Betty, you can rest assured. Sometimes I will help you. I will arrange an explorer to walk around you and eliminate any problems as soon as possible. Rose. Okay, I believe you, as long as you do what you say and don't harm Blue Star. When I return to my original position, I will fully support you in the League of Legends. Wu-Lei. Uncle, we are all family. I am a person who keeps promises. As long as the world does not target us, we will always protect it. If the world targets us, I will have to take my team away from Blue Star. What happens to Blue Star in the future will not be our business. Quote. Rose. There will not be such a day. Humans need you. Wu-Lei. Okay, let's go, Uncle, you don't have to look at Banner with a stern face in the future. Rose laughed loudly, because the knot in his heart had been untied, and said, Okay, kid, we are all family, go together. By the way, I forgot to congratulate you, let's work hard for Blue Star in the future. 3. Ross came to Banner, patted Banner on the shoulder and said, Banner, since you married my daughter, you must take good care of her. Don't let her get hurt or bully her. If I find out, I will tear you into pieces even if I have to sacrifice my life. Quote. Banner felt the change in Ross, who was completely different from before, and quickly responded, Father-in-law, I will take good care of her and will never let Betty get hurt. Quote. Rose said happily, I believe you can do what you say. Quote. Betty also felt that her father was different now. Father, are you no longer against us? Ross said kindly. Eyes, responding to Betty. Daughter, it was because your father was too stubborn before, but now it's different. Dad has been enlightened, so Dad blesses you, you must be well. Betty. Thank you, Dad, I finally heard your blessing. Banner. Thank you, father-in-law. Tony. Wu, what did you say to Ross, the old stubborn, why did you suddenly change? Wu-Lei. Nothing. I just acted as a charlatan for once. Tony. Charlatan. What do you mean? Wu-Lei. I told him that our enemy is not a war between races, but an enemy outside the blue planet. We must gather all the 04 in the world. 0. World human compatriots, work together to develop technology, travel together in the sea of the universe, don't always have conflicts over this small piece of land. There are plenty of resources in the universe, why always have conflicts on the blue planet? There is no need, even if you win temporarily, what is there to be happy about? It is still humans who suffer, that's what I mean. Tony. I have to say, your words are very convincing, it feels like you really have the potential to be a charlatan. Wu-Lei. Tony, then do you want to join my church? Tony. Church. What church? Wu-Lei. I am a senior clergyman of the Lazy Church, do you want to join? Quote. Tony. Haha, Wu, you're so funny. Wu-Lei. Tony, where are you going to travel after the wedding? Tony. Hey, of course Morocco, do you want to go together? Wu-Lei thought about it, since he had never been there, it would be nice to travel there with Natasha, so he said, okay. Tony. Ask Banner and Betty if they want to go together later. Hotel. Tony. Today is the wedding of our 3 couples. Please enjoy today's wedding banquet, all the guests, and relatives. Okay. Tony. After the meal, let's go to the cocktail party downstairs. Everything today is our brothers, I'll take care of everything. At this moment, everyone at the scene had a sentence in their mind. A rich man, rich means domineering. After Tony finished speaking, he came to his seat. This table was for the 3 couples who got married today. Tony, Banner, Betty, since you are married, where are you going to spend your honeymoon? Banner, we have thought it through. We will go to the headquarters. The environment there is beautiful and there are Pokemon to accompany us. We will spend our honeymoon while organizing the biological research laboratory there. Tony, it's boring, so don't accompany us to Morocco to work hard. Betty, forget it, we can just go to the League of Legends headquarters. Wu Lei, Tony, if Banner wants to go there, let them go. After our honeymoon, we will go there to arrange our own rooms. Tony, okay, Wu, you are the best. Coulson, Director, have you found that Tony Sheng has green meridians? Nick Fury, I have found it. Coulson, you are not suffering from palladium poisoning. Nick Fury, go back and send his father's information over. We can't let him have any problems, so that we can also establish a friendly relationship with the League of Legends. The 2 thought that their discussion would make Tony feel good, but they didn't know that they were trapped by Wu Lei and Tony in advance. Drilling down step by step, fortunately, the advance preparation also allowed some people with bad intentions to jump out and make trouble. Needless to say, the first one to jump out was Ivan Vanko, who was far away in a corner of Russia, and saw it on TV. Ivan Vanko, Tony Stark, you have come to this day, let me speed up your death time, ha ha ha. The wedding banquet and cocktail party on that day started very late. Tony and Banner were drunk, and Wu Lei and Natasha only showed their faces at the cocktail party and went home to complete the major event of their lives, or it can be said that they were making a baby. Both of them longed for a fruit of love. 2 p.m. Tony, prepare ready. Wu Lei, is it that troublesome? What else do you need to prepare? Just stuff the things into the treasure bag and you can go with nothing in your hands. Tony, that's right, why didn't I think of that? I also asked Happy to send the suitcase to the airport. Wu Lei, ha ha ha, the things I gave you are just to make it convenient for you. If you don't use the treasure bag, what do you use it for? Tony, hee hee, I use it to carry steel armor. Wu Lei, speechless, the treasure bag is so big, you only put steel armor, it will be troublesome to take it out. Tony, it's a bit troublesome. Every time I need to cover the nano armor before I can take it out. Wu Lei, we are traveling these days. I am reading more comics, movies and TV series to see if I can get you some convenient props. Tony, no need. I have recently studied that the space ring in the cartoon, Swallowed Star, is very good. I just want to take one. Wu Lei, okay, when we get to the hotel over there, I will draw 2, one for you and one for me. Tony, brother, you are still the best. It is convenient to have you. Wu Lei, haha, you treat me as a tool, you can have whatever you want, right? Tony, hee hee, brother, don't think so, I just want to try it. What is your limit? Wu Lei, no, I'm very busy and don't have time to do experiments with you. What are you talking about? Why don't you get on the plane? Potts and Natasha came over and asked at the same time. Tony, aren't we waiting for you? Excuse, he must be saying something bad about us. Wu Lei, don't listen to Tony's nonsense. He said you are procrastinating. Tony, Wu, so you are such a person. Since you framed me, I didn't say that. Wu Lei, if you say it, you must admit it. If you are wrong, you must admit it. If you are beaten, you must stand at attention. You can't escape it. I, a good citizen, will not help you hide your wrong. Tony, lucky citizen, ah. Potts was so angry that his cheeks bulged. He walked over, grabbed Tony's ear, and said, good for you. Since you are talking about your wife behind your back, I am kind enough to buy you a cheeseburger. You can buy it yourself next time. Natasha saw Wu Lei, who was laughing with his mouth covered, and ran over to grab Wu Lei's ear. Good, Wu, you have learned to frame others. Wu Lei, how could I am telling the truth. Natasha, Then why are you laughing? Wu Lei, this is the first time I see Tony so frustrated. Don't you think it's funny? Natasha without letting go, he grabbed Wu Lei's ear and said, you're the one who informed me. Tony, you deserve it. This is what you Chinese people say, share the good and the bad together. Potts, still talking nonsense. Tony said with a frustrated look on his face, Potts, I won't dare to do it next time. Don't pull my ears. There are still many people watching over there. Potts looked around and found that there were indeed many people looking at him, so he had to let go. I'll let you go here, but you still don't want to get on the plane. Tony. Okay, get on the plane. Wu Lei, Xiao Na, you see Potts has let go, shouldn't you let go too? Natasha. I will don't let go, I'm going to keep pulling, I feel it's pretty good to pull your ears. Wu Lei. Don't. I'm wrong, isn't it okay? Natasha. I admit my mistake. Okay, next time you dare to talk nonsense, I will pull your ears for a day. Wu Lei. I dare not, I dare not. The four of them got on Tony's private plane with a lot of fun. Wu Lei didn't let Tony wait that long, he started to draw 4 space rings on the plane, and added some functions to the space rings, such as, only you can use it, it will never be destroyed, only you can see it, you can select the location to access it. After an hour-long flight, they finally landed at the airport in Morocco. The four of them got on the car they had arranged in advance and went to the 5-star top hotel they had prepared in advance. Tony. Let's go. I'll take you to the first stop of this trip, the Moroccan racetrack. I've prepared tickets for tomorrow's race. Wu Lei recalled the plot of Marvel's movies. This should be the beginning of Iron Man 2, but he changed it to this. Will Ivan Vanko still appear? Tony. The race starts tomorrow. Why go to the racetrack today? Tony. To see the team and car I sponsored. Wu Lei pretended not to know and said, oh, you have a 1.8 team, I thought you were going to participate in the competition. Tony. While they are not here, I will tell you that I will also participate in the competition tomorrow, what do you think? Are you interested? Wu Lei. I don't have a car, how can I compete? Tony. If you don't have a car, I can give it to you, and you can also draw one, don't worry, I can help you register. Wu Lei. Aren't you afraid that I will take your first place? Tony. Haha, my driving skills are top-notch, can you beat me? Wu Lei. That's hard to say, I'll show my true strength at that time. Tony. Who's afraid of who? They are coming, I will send them away later, you can take the opportunity to draw one. Wu Lei. No problem. The four of them got in the car and came to the Morocco circuit. Tony also sent Potts and Natasha away as originally planned. Wu Lei said he wanted to stay and draw, and Natasha followed Potts and the others around. Wu Lei walked to the garage, which happened to be relatively large and had 2 parking spaces. He quickly sat on the chair and started drawing. Wu Lei. Tony, let's see how you can beat me in racing. I will draw my favorite racing game QQ Speed, which is a frequently used car model, how my light messenger crushes your car. After Wu Lei finished drawing the car, he went to the lounge on the top floor and sat in a place with the best view. He looked at the scenery outside the French window and started to draw. When Tony brought Potts and Natasha back to the lounge, he knew that Wu Lei was ready when he saw him coming back. Tony also took the opportunity to say that he was going to the bathroom and left. Potts and Natasha sat behind Wu Lei and began to appreciate Wu Lei's paintings. Every time Wu Lei drew, people were addicted, and Potts and Natasha were no exception. Tony came to the garage of his sponsored team and found a very cool-looking car. He knew it was the car drawn by Wu Lei and began to study it. It was not until Potts called to ask that he realized that he had forgotten to register the car information for Wu Lei. He quickly replied to Potts and said, he called the team manager and registered Wu Lei's car for tomorrow's race before leaving. He was still thinking about the car and secretly decided to take it back for research. When Tony returned to the lounge, he heard such a voice. Potts. Wu Lei, you can't do this. Why do you only draw so many pictures for Natasha, and only one for me? Draw another one for me from this angle. Wu Lei. Potts, it's not that I don't want to help you draw, it's really not good looking from this angle. When Tony comes, we will go to another place to draw another one. Natasha. Yes, Potts, how can you draw like this? It's not elegant. Tony thought something had happened and walked in quickly. Although he didn't know what it was, Potts was himself. Wu Lei couldn't be too partial to his wife, so he quickly said, "What happened? Did Wu Lei bully you?" Potts said with a puzzled look. "No, he just didn't want to draw." Tony. "Wu Lei, you treat me as a brother, since you don't want to draw for my Potts," Wu Lei said with a confused look. "What and what?" Tony. "Are you sure we are on the same channel?" Tony. "What do you mean by the same channel?" Wu Lei. "It means you are sure we are talking about the same thing." Oh 6. Tony. "What happened?" Natasha. "Let me tell you, the thing is this, Potts thought the toilet chair was quite novel, and wanted to sit on it and let my husband help Potts draw a picture, but my husband thought it was very indecent and reminded Potts, but Potts thought it was pretty good and wanted a painting, but my husband refused to paint it. That's what happened." Tony. "Really? Potts? I think it's pretty good." Tony. "You talk to Wu Fu." Tony. "Wife, you go sit over there, how about I take a look?" Potts strode to the peculiar chair and sat down. As a result, Tony looked at it from all angles and felt that something was wrong. Wu Lei's painting was so realistic. If this painting was painted, wouldn't it mean that Wu Lei was painting his wife going to the toilet? As soon as Tony's idea came up, it snowballed and grew bigger. Tony decided not to let Potts be so willful, knowing that it's okay for people, but if someone who doesn't know sees it, they will definitely misunderstand it. Tony. "Potts, it's not okay to draw like this, it will be misunderstood, and our reputation will be ruined." Potts. "Is that so? I think it's okay." Tony. "Bring the Polaroid here first, I'll take a photo of you here first, if you think it's okay, I'll let Wu Lei draw for you." After that, Tony took the Polaroid and took a photo of Potts. Potts took the photo and thought it was nothing at first, but as time went by, he looked more and more wrong, and his face turned red instantly. Tony also noticed Potts' reaction. Tony. "Okay, let's go for a walk on the beach." "Okay, let's go together." When the game was Tony. "Wu, your car looks pretty cool, I wonder if it can be faster than mine." Wu Lei. "No big deal, just don't eat dust behind me later." Tony. "Just wait and see, my driving skills are very powerful, and we don't know who will eat dust behind me in the end." At this time outside, a man stripped the work clothes of a knocked-out staff member, bit a toothpick in his mouth, and walked boldly into the Morocco racetrack, with his work hat pulled down very low, and his eyes began to lock on the target person. Potts. Natasha, have you seen Tony? Natasha. Potts, if I don't see Tony, I'm looking for Wu Lei too. Potts. Where did the two people run to? At this moment, a reporter who was interviewing Justin Hammer accidentally glanced at the TV, and saw Tony and Wu Lei wearing racing clothes, ready to get on the car. Justin Hammer saw that the reporter from Vanity Fair magazine was not paying attention to him. Justin Hammer. Reporter Kristen, what's wrong? Kristen. Mr. Hammer, look, Mr. Stark and his good brother participated in this Morocco racing competition, and his brother's car is so cool. Justin Hammer looked back at the TV, and was stunned at the sight. The car was really cool, and suddenly there was an inexplicable anger in his heart. Today, he finally got interviewed by Vanity Fair magazine, and then being disrupted. Tony alone is fine, but now even his brother is here. When will I be able to appear in the magazine? I was unwilling to accept it and hurriedly said. Reporter Kristen, stop reading, let's continue. Kristen didn't care about Hammer. With such explosive news, why would she care about you who makes pirated weapons? She hurriedly said. Mr. Hammer, let's make an appointment next time. I have something else to do. After hearing what Kristen said, a burst of anger broke out. MD, it's like this again. Everyone turned around to look at Justin Hammer, including Potts and Natasha. When she turned around, Natasha saw the two people on TV. Natasha. Potts, I found them. Potts. Where are they? Natasha pointed at the TV and said. Well, the two guys secretly went to participate in the competition without telling us. I have to say that my husband's car is really cool. Tony. Brother, this is your first time participating. You were at the back of the line with me, and you were behind me. Wu Lei. No problem, I still know about this. Referee. Please get ready, contestants. Each driver stared at the starting lights, the roar of the car, waiting for the last light to light up, beep beep beep. When the last light came on, everyone released the brakes at the same time, and all the cars started at the same time. At this time, the audience thought that all the cars had started, but the only car did not start. And this racing car is Wu Lei's car, Holy Light Messenger. Everyone thought that this cool car had a problem, but Wu Lei, who was sitting in the car, didn't want to bully others, so he switched the steering wheel to the handle mode. Wu Lei, it's almost time, I should go. Wu Lei pressed the forward button, and the car started instantly, rushing out at a high speed, and caught up with the last person in less than a moment. At this time, everyone came to a sharp turn, and in order to avoid accidents, they all slowed down and went to the outer circle to avoid accidents, but at this time, the last car did not slow down, and a beautiful drift cut in from the inner circle, and a short nitrogen spray surpassed the second place and came to the first place. Tony. Wow, how to accelerate drift. Quote. Not only Tony had this idea, other racers and the audience at the scene saw this driving skill and stared at Wu Lei's car in amazement. Wu Lei drove the Holy Light Messenger faster and faster. As time passed, Wu Lei was already one lap ahead of other cars. When he came to the track in front of the audience again, Wu Lei saw a person who began to take off his hat and was about to walk to the driveway. Wu Lei instantly knew who this person was, and quickly pressed the transformation device on his chest and called Tony. Wu Lei, Tony, do you hear me? Tony. Wu, you are still awesome, you are almost 1.5 laps ahead. Quote. Wu Lei, don't talk nonsense, change your clothes quickly, there are enemies in front of you, I will stop at the repair point in front, hurry up, come back to help you. Tony. What? Tony didn't hesitate and wanted to press the transformation device. At this time, an electric whip hit Tony's car, and Tony's car was instantly cut in half. Tony still didn't have time to transform and was pressed under the car. Ivan Vanko, hitting the ground with the electric whip, walked step by step to the car that was cut in half. Ivan Vanko said loudly, "Haha, Stark, aren't you Iron Man? Where is your scrap metal?" At this time, Tony, who was pressed under the car, took advantage of this time to press the transformation device on his chest, and the nanovibranium instantly covered his whole body, quickly knocked the car away and flew from under the car to the hospital. Tony. Who are you? Ivan Vanko. Who am I? You and your father are both thieves. Palladium poisoning is good. Tony stared at Ivan Vanko, very confused, but when he heard Ivan Vanko say that his father was a thief, he was very angry. He kept looking at Ivan Vanko. At this time, he found that the man in front of him had a reactor on his chest, and continued to ask, "Who are you?" Ivan Vanko didn't say anything else. 2 electric whips were thrown at Tony in the air. Tony used Jarvis to check the person in front, but didn't notice the electric whips that attacked. When the electric whips hit the nano-vibranium armor, the electric whips were bounced off and split as imagined. Ivan Vanko. Impossible, impossible 187, no metal can withstand my specially made electric whips. Whippin', when are you going to load the steel armor? Quote. Tony came back to his senses and replied, there are many things you can't imagine, like your father's traitor and spy, I guess you can't know. Ivan Vanko. Impossible, my father won't lie to me, he wanted to continue attacking, but Wu Lei, who came back to help, knocked him out with a knife from behind. Wu Lei. There are many things you can't imagine, and I didn't find them behind you. Tony. I haven't asked clearly yet. Wu Lei took down the reactor on Ivan Vanko's chest without hesitation, and put away the 2 electric whips, and then said, catch him first, and then ask slowly, I will repair and run first road and damaged vehicles, we will compete later. Tony. You still want to compete. At this time, the Moroccan police arrived at the scene and arrested Ivan Vanko, who fainted on the spot. Potts and Natasha came to the scene. Potts. Are you okay? Tony. I'm fine. You know my physique. I don't want to expose my true strength too quickly, otherwise I would have flown out long ago. Why would I fly out wearing nano armor? Quote. Potts. That's true. Natasha. Who is that person? Wu Lei. Let's talk about it when we get back. This person is not simple. You should notify Nick Fury to keep an eye on this guy now. I feel something is wrong. Our travel itinerary only includes League of Legends. The crew and pilots know, but it is impossible for others to know in advance. Someone must be monitoring us, maybe that organization is there. Natasha. You mean that organization? Wu Lei. Yes. Natasha. I will contact the director now. In fact, there is indeed that organization behind the scenes. Looking back at Tony, he said, Tony, we have to leave Morocco immediately, there may be trouble here. Tony also knows the seriousness. Okay, as for that person, let Shield interrogate. Wu Lei. I don't want to expose too much. I just sneaked here. I have parked the car in the garage. I will go back to put it away. We will meet at the plane. No problem, meet at the airport. Wu Lei returned to the garage as planned and put the Holy Light Messenger into the space ring. He walked to a corner where no one was paying attention with Natasha, who was keeping watch outside the garage, opened the door and came to Tony's private plane. When they arrived here, Tony was already waiting for Wu Lei and the others. Tony. Wu, you are so slow. Wu Lei. I need to choose a place where no one is to take out the door, otherwise our secret will be exposed, and you also know what happened just now. Tony. That's right. Wu Lei. Tony, tell the pilot to drive the plane back, and we will go back by other means, and I will also I don't know if the plane has been tampered with. Tony. What are you afraid of? Natasha. Tony, my husband is right, we should not take risks. Potts. Tony, don't be willful. Tony. We are so strong. Wu Lei. Tony, you should know that the first bird to stick its head out will be shot, not to mention that we are really strong, and there are few people on Blue Star who can beat us. Have you ever thought about what will happen if our strength is exposed? Tony. Of course, cheer and worship. Natasha. That would be the best, but what if we are all, what should we do if we are excluded? Wu Lei. Yes, once we are excluded, we will be regarded as monsters, and the world will ask you for it. If you don't give it to us, we will be suppressed by the world, and the League of Legends will become a home for monsters. Tony. It's impossible. Wu Lei. Tony, you must remember that a man is innocent, but he is guilty of possessing a treasure. Tony. Isn't it better? Isn't it better if all mankind becomes stronger? Wu Lei. You are right, but there must be a premise, that is, there must be no anti-human and super criminals, otherwise it will shoot itself in the foot. Tony. No wonder you want to. Natasha. Tony, this is not the place to talk about this. Wu Lei. Go talk first, and then we'll go back directly. Base. Tony. Wu, you are still thoughtful. The plane we were on really exploded. Wu Lei. How is the pilot? Potts. Just rescued. He said that when returning, the plane suddenly lost control. After checking that there was no one on the plane, he put on a parachute, kicked open the door, and jumped out of the plane. However, the plane exploded just after he jumped out. He was blown away by the aftermath of the explosion and fainted. Fortunately, he had opened parachute until our rescue team comes to get him down from the tree. Natasha. This pilot needs to be investigated carefully, and if there is no problem, he will be compensated. Tony. A secret investigation has been arranged. At this time, Natasha's phone rang. Natasha took it out of her bag and saw that it was Coulson calling, so she answered it immediately. Hello. Agent Coulson, what's the matter? Coulson. Natasha, Ivan Vanko was jailbroken. Natasha. What's the situation? Do you know who jailbroken him? Coulson. The other party is very sophisticated. No, there was no trace left, and the entire prison was blown up. Natasha. Who is it, so generous, could it be Hydra? Coulson. It is still unknown, but the director said the probability is very high. Natasha. Okay, let's do it first. After that, she hung up the phone and looked at Tony. Tony. What do you think of this? Wu Lei. What else can I think? Didn't I say, don't expose yourself too much, the team can make all preparations. Tony. No, I want to use your predictive ability to say it. Wu Lei said helplessly. How can I have predictive ability? Tony. Impossible, you definitely have it, otherwise the plane would have exploded just after we got back, and you predicted many other things. Wu Lei. Tony, I really don't have the ability to predict, I'm just cautious, and at the same time use the enemy's perspective to speculate whether they will make any plans. Natasha. Hubby, you also know psychology, this seems to be advanced criminal psychology, how did you learn it? Wu Lei's heart skipped a beat when he heard Natasha say this. How could I know any criminal psychology? I was just making it up. How could I know? I can say I've watched Marvel movies, I can spoil the plot. So I quickly responded, I haven't learned these. I traveled around the world, saw and heard a lot, and then put it into practice, and then I summarized a set of methods to turn danger into safety. Natasha. So that's how it is, it makes sense, no wonder you can shuttle through dangerous places without endangering your life. Tony. Brother, you are amazing, then in your opinion, what actions will they take next? Wu Lei. In my opinion, there are only two possibilities for Ivan Vanko's disappearance, one of which can be ruled out, and the remaining one is you, Tony. Tony. Me. Wu Lei. Yes, it's you, because your reactor is so coveted. In this world, except for me, you are the only one who can make it, but now there is someone who can make it. What does this mean? Your technology is not only yours, they will capture him to make it, and then suppress Stark Company, or destroy Stark Company. Potts. Too scary. Tony. Who do you think it will be? Wu Lei. It can be analyzed. The first one is your business rival, the second one is Hydra, the third one is the cooperation between the two companies, the fourth one has been ruled out by me. Tony. Who is the one ruled out? Wu Lei. The one ruled out is S.H.I.E.L.D., because they have no reason to want your technology. If they will come to you if they need it because they are afraid that we will fall out. Once we do, they will not be able to bear it. The most important thing is that we are still in the honeymoon period. Tony. Wu, which of the remaining three analyses do you think is the most likely? Wu Lei. From the perspective of bombing our plane, the third possibility is the greatest. Potts. Wu Lei, which family do you think is the most likely? Wu Lei began to guide step by step and said, Potts, then I would like to ask you which companies are very wary of you. Potts. If it was before, there were only two companies, but now there are probably none. Wu Lei. Oh. Which two? Potts. Osborne Group and Hammer Industries. Wu Lei. I don't know much about these two companies, tell me about the situation. Potts. Both companies and we have cooperated with the military before, but the Osborne Group is mainly engaged in biological genetic modification, and the others are sideline businesses. The military is very interested in biological genetic modification, and there are also cooperation in other weapons. As for Hammer Industries, they all imitate our weapons and those of the Osborne Group. Natasha. More than that, the key to why the Osborne Group was established lies in the Osborne family disease. Every member of the Osborne family cannot live beyond 60 years old, and this trend is still declining. As for the chairman of Hammer Industries, he just wants to make money, is narrow-minded, and likes to show off. Tony. Wu, can you analyze it? Wu Lei. Although these letters there is not much information, but I am 90% sure it is Hammer Industries. Tony. Why not Osborne Group? Wu Lei. It is impossible. The chairman of Osborne Group is still expediting research to solve the family disease, so it is impossible, unless someone or a mysterious organization says that they can solve the problem and give him the exact medicine, otherwise it is really impossible. Tony. Isn't there still 10%? Wu Lei. Didn't I leave it for him? I don't know how many generations the Osborne family has had this disease, but if the mysterious organization is not stupid, it will definitely not choose Osborne, unless there is only Osborne Group to choose from, otherwise it will not choose a short-lived group. Natasha. Backquote, husband, your analysis is very correct. I will ask Coulson to investigate now. Wu Lei. If possible, I suggest we investigate it ourselves. Natasha. No, I am professional in this area, and my skills are also suitable for lurking. Wu Lei. That's right, I thought of a fun one, he said with a sly smile. Wu Lei. Why do you suddenly smile like this? I feel like you are going to do something bad. Wu Lei. Xiao Na, I suddenly thought of something very funny. Natasha. What made you look like this? Wu Lei. With your ability, you are not only suitable for lurking, but also for scaring people, just to give Hammer TA circle. What? Scaring people? Ghosts coming. Wu Lei. It's to let Xiao Na go into Hammer Industries at night, use the power of the dark fruit to make the people inside fall into darkness, and then use the nano-flying projector to release ghosts and make the lights of Hammer Industries flash to make the people inside feel scared. If the other party shoots, use the power of the flower fruit. Tony. Hehe, good suggestion, but I want to add a camera to the nano flying projector. I want to record Justin Hammer's embarrassment. Potts. You are boring enough. Natasha is risking her life to explore. Natasha. I think this suggestion is very good, so that the other party will not know who it is, and if they tell others, no one will believe it. Please believe, just think it's a neurotic FE. Wu Lei. Since Xiaona has no objection, let Tony make this nano flying projector. Remember, the more terrifying the projection, the better. By the way, since it is to project ghosts, it must have ghost special effects, such as radio wave interference, unstable control power supply, scary sound effects, cold air special effects. Tony. It's so troublesome, but it feels quite fun. These are all easy. Give me 3 hours and I will tinker with this device. Wu Lei. Xiaona, when the time comes, you have to pay attention to the other party shooting. Remember to avoid the bullets, preferably behind the wall. Natasha. I know, but I use the dark fruit, which can not only generate dark space, but also absorb the dark space. I can't dodge the attack and speed in the time. As for the bullets that have lost their attack power and speed, will they still be dangerous to me? Tony. If it is a non-physical attack, can I dodge it? Natasha. Then there is no need to dodge it. I can absorb it directly, huh? Tony. Too powerful. My magnetic fruit can only absorb magnetic force and physical attack power. Potts. I can't absorb physical attack power. I can only absorb non-physical attack power, but it is still specific. Wu Lei. Hehe, my shining fruit is similar to Xiaona. Or Tony, you think about what abilities you need, and I will add them for you. Tony. I will think about this carefully. Now I will go to the underground laboratory to make equipment for Natasha. 3 hours later, Tony came to the living room with a small box. Tony. Natasha, this box is for you. There are 2 glasses in it that can control the nano flying projector. You can also choose the ghosts you like. There are 4 nano flying machines in it. 2 are spare. Natasha took the small box and said, Honey, what ghosts do you want to choose? Wu Lei. Let me see what ghosts there are. He took the glasses and started to choose. There are not only ghosts in anime, but also ghosts in movies. However, Wu Lei is interested in ghosts in games. After constant selection, he finally chose a lich in a horror game Deformed, which is very suitable for Natasha's dark space. Tony saw Wu Lei choose. After choosing this ghost, he said, I thought you would choose the female ghost with a box cutter in the game, Sweet Home. I replaced the box cutter with a knife. Wu Lei. I thought you only cared about beautiful women, but I didn't expect you to care about female ghosts. Tony said proudly. Of course, they will only get close to me and fall in love with me. Wu Lei saw Potts's expression and said, Then you should ask the one next to you first. Tony turned his head and was speechless, but he still said quickly, Potts, I was joking, how could I mess around, how can people and ghosts be together? Now I have you, I am very satisfied. Potts said with a sharp look, Tony, you have a criminal record, I just hope you won't scold me. Wu Lei said in order to avoid making the situation too awkward, Potts, Tony has the heart but not the courage. Humans and ghosts are different. If he really falls in love with a ghost, I guess we can only collect his body for him. Tony. Why? Wu Lei. Because ghosts are also classified. Some eat meat and drink blood, while others gnaw bones and swallow souls. If they are light, they absorb yang energy. Natasha. Husband, how do you know? Have you seen 130? Wu Lei. I don't want to see these. If I really see these, it means that I am extremely unlucky and may die at any time. Although I have not seen ghosts, I have heard of and seen dead people. I have also read books about ghosts, so I should do more good deeds when I have nothing to do. Even if you encounter ghosts, they will hide from you. I understand. Tony. But why don't those vicious people encounter ghosts? Wu Lei. According to the book, there are 3 types of people who can avoid these. The first type is a righteous person. There will be a righteous aura around his existence, and ghosts will not approach. The second type is soldiers or police. As long as what they do is to protect the country instead of invading the country, they will be blessed by the country's luck. The third type is the vicious people. They live on the edge of a knife, stepping on flesh and blood, and will produce evil spirits, but often this kind of people have already stepped half a foot into hell. There is no good luck, only bad luck, and they can die at any time. I understand, so we can only choose the first and the second. Wu Lei, haha, I can only choose the first. Tony. Why? Wu Lei, why else? Because I am Chinese. Although I have an American ID card, I still have Chinese blood, so if I choose the second one, I will protect my motherland. Then I might as well choose the first one and be a righteous person to protect people all over the world. Isn't it better? Tony. Yes, I also choose the first one. We are the same. Wu Lei. Isn't that right? We are the League of Legends, not a national protection agency. We want to protect all mankind in the Golden Blue Star. Yes, we are the League of Legends, not a national protection agency. We want to protect all mankind in the Golden Blue Star, protection agencies of various countries. We have to AGFJ protect all mankind and the entire blue planet. Tony. Natasha, the equipment is complete. When do we set off tonight? Wu Lei. Tony, are you a pig? We just came back not long ago. It's not like we just got back by plane. Even Justin Hammer and Hydra are on their way to sneak over. How can they arrive so quickly? Are you going there now to scare people in advance? Natasha. Husband, if you want to scare people, it's better to go there in advance, so that Justin Hammer will think it's a thief. If Justin Hammer takes Ivan Vanko to Hammer Industries, he will think he has been discovered and will immediately move to another location. Wu Lei. Okay, then all this is I'll leave it to you, but you have to be careful. I don't want you to get hurt, understand? Natasha. I know, husband. Wu Lei. Yes, wife. The two looked at each other affectionately, holding hands. Tony. Hey, it's just to scare people, not to go to the battlefield. Potts. To borrow your words, Wu Lei, can you please not show off your love? Wu Lei. Okay, Shao Na, go watch a horror movie first and learn how those ghosts speak, otherwise you won't know what to say when they appear, and also the tone of voice. Natasha. No problem. Hammer Industries. Captain, where should we go to have fun after get off work? Quote. Why are you so nervous? I have already made an appointment with a few girls. You can notify your brothers to go together later. Okay, boss. At this time, the security room sent a message. Captain, please reply when you receive it. I am the captain. Please report the situation. Captain, there is a problem with the surveillance camera in the stairwell on the second floor. Please go and check it out. Received. Captain, what's wrong? There is a problem with the surveillance camera on the second floor. It's really troublesome. I thought I could wait for the shift change today. Why are you talking so much? Why don't you keep up? Got it, Captain. The two of them quickly came to the second floor. When they arrived at the second floor, they found that the lights around the stairwell on the second floor were flashing. What on earth are these engineering department members doing? They can't even check if there's a problem with the light. Captain, don't be so angry. We'll file a complaint tomorrow and we haven't received any reward yet. You're right. I almost forgot that our company has this rule. You have a future, kid. At this time, a gloomy voice sounded. Needless to say, this voice was Natasha. Who is it? Who stole my eyes? At this time, the security captain immediately said alertly, who is it? Who is talking? Come out quickly. You have violated the law. Go to Hammer Industries. If you don't come out, I will kill you as an intruder. The gloomy voice did not stop. Who stole my eyes? Captain, it feels so strange. Let's go to the light first. Take out the flashlight and check the surroundings. I will call the security room to ask someone to come over. Security room, please reply and arrange for someone to come over quickly. There is a situation here. There is a rustling sound in the intercom. What's going on? Captain, there is a problem with the flashlight. It seems to be out of power. What did you do? Since you got it, there is no power. Captain, it's impossible. I just took it out and tried it. There is some power. Look, it's still full. It may be a bad contact. Tap it. Captain, I tapped it, but it didn't work. Let me do it. The flashlight doesn't work. That's it. The security captain took the flashlight and tapped it according to his own method, but it didn't work no matter how he tapped it. Impossible. There is a problem with the intercom and the flashlight. It's really a ghost. Captain, are we really seeing ghosts? What nonsense. How can this world, how could there be a ghost? At this moment, the gloomy voice appeared again. Who is it? Who stole my eyes? Captain, that voice appeared again. Captain, let's run. Why are you running? I heard it too. Let's retreat to a place with light and see who it is. So the two of them retreated to the vicinity of normal lights. Captain, the flashlight can be used. Huh. It really is. Let me try the intercom. Can the security room hear it? Captain, this is the security room. I can receive it. What's the matter? Oh. It's okay. You keep watching the surveillance. Okay. Captain, there is a surveillance in front of you that is broken, but the surveillance in the stairwell has been restored. What? There is nothing in front of me. BL. Semicolon. Captain, I'm scared. Why is it dark in front of us? Who stole my eyes? Captain, that voice appeared again. I heard it. Who is playing tricks there? Come out. If you don't come out, I will shoot. After saying that, he pulled out the pistol on his waist and pointed it to the front. Did you steal my eyes? Bang. 5 bullets in a row, only heard the sound of ding dong falling, obviously missed. How is it possible? I am a retired Special Forces soldier, it is impossible not to hit. Captain, let's run quickly, we may encounter ghosts. Impossible, there are no ghosts in the world. As soon as the words were finished, 2 pairs of hands appeared on the ground and grabbed the feet of the 2 people tightly. Captain, my feet can't move. Me too. When his eyes moved to his feet, he found that his feet were tightly held by 2 hands. The security captain wanted to hit them with an electric baton. Just as he was about to hit them, the projection of the lich appeared in front of the 2 of them, and at the same time a cold air rushed towards them with a foul smell. Did you steal my eyes? Not us, not us. We didn't steal your eyes, the 2 were already scared to death. The projection of the lich did not stay, and passed through the 2 of them, and the dark space released by Natasha, moving forward continuously, the lights flickered until they disappeared around the corner, the 2 men collapsed to the ground, and the communication in the security room returned to normal. Captain, what's going on over there? Why is there a short malfunction in every surveillance? Hurry up and arrange for someone to come over and help us back, there's a problem here. When the people in the security room came to the 2nd floor, they saw one person had fainted, and the other was kneeling on the ground, with a pool of yellow liquid on the ground. After this day, this situation would occur every day until the day Justin Hammer appeared. After Natasha completed the task, she came to a nearby hidden spot, because Wu Lei was waiting for him there. Let's go back, I can't wait to see your performance tonight. Hubby, don't let me scare you so much that you can't sleep. I'm not afraid of these, no matter how scary you are still my precious wife. Well, husband, let's go home. Billa. Tony said excitedly. Quick, give me the nano flying projector, I've been waiting for a long time. Potts looked over with a scrutinizing eye. You are so gossipy even though you didn't find Tony, why didn't I find it before? Tony quickly rejected. I'm not gossiping, but testing the results. Haha, who would believe it? Woo, my brother, even you make fun of me like this, -2. Tony, your expression just now has proved it, no need to reject it, I tell you that the authorities are confused and the bystanders are clear, you just accept it well admit it. Was my expression just now so obvious? Wu Lei, Natasha, and Potts nodded at the same time to express their affirmation. Whether you believe it or not, I don't believe it anyway. Wu Lei knew that Tony was like this, just stubborn, and didn't say anything. Forget it, take a rest after watching the video. So the 4 of them began to sit in the home theater, enjoying Natasha's performance in the Hammer Industrial Building, until the security captain shot Natasha. Wu Lei's face suddenly changed. Although it was okay, Wu Lei was still very nervous. He quickly picked up Natasha and went to the room and began to check in depth. The process was, omitted 1 million words. A phone call woke everyone up at 9 o'clock in the morning. It was Roddy who called. Tony, something happened. What are you doing? Can't you call me later? I'm still resting. Still sleeping, the Senate has subpoenaed you now, because you and Potts have not been in the company these days, and now they have sent the subpoena to me and asked me to give it to you. Why did the Senate subpoena me? I looked at the content of the subpoena, and it seems to be about the Morocco issue. You should get ready and go to the Senate at 10 o'clock. I have also been invited, and your second largest shareholder Wu Lei has also been notified to go there. So troublesome. I will go to get ready first, and then the phone will be hung up, and we will meet there later. Potts sat up dazedly and said, Tony, what's wrong? The Senate subpoenaed a Stark company, and all our senior executives. What's going on? It seems to be about Morocco. Forget it, let's not talk about it. Let's notify Wu Lei first, and then we will know when we go together. Okay, I'll go now. On the way. Wu, how should we deal with the current situation? Tony, why are you so nervous? When the enemy comes, the general will stop it, and when the water comes, the earth will cover it. Bring out your playboy skills to confront them. What about you? I will just show my salty state. They said something to me. Potts said nervously. Is this okay? Why not? Wu Lei and Tony said at the same time. Natasha asked a key question at this time. What if they want steel armor or reactors? Tony said indifferently. Haha, wishful thinking. Wu Lei had a different opinion. Tony, I'll talk about this later. You only answer the question about steel armor. Okay, I have a lot of interesting things to confront them. XB. Stern said to Tony. Mr. Stark, how do you explain the evil incident in Morocco? Tony said with contempt. How would I know? I was participating in the competition and suddenly a madman jumped out. Madman? That's impossible. The other party mentioned your name by name. Hey, Senator Stern, I'm very famous. Everyone in America knows me. Don't you read Vanity Fair, Financial Times, and other newspapers? If not, you can buy a copy now. Stern said angrily. Mr. Stark, this is not your Stark building. Did you blow up the prison in anger because he attacked you? Oh, Mr. Senator, you can't say that. I am a law-abiding, peace-loving citizen. I will not pay attention to these mad dogs barking. Can dogs bite? I'll bite it back after I bite it. The people at the scene started to laugh. Senator Stern knew that the dog Tony was talking about him, and looked at Wu Lei next to Tony and said, Mr. Wu Lei, I remember you were also participating in the competition at the scene, and the one who called himself, wandering home was you. Wu Lei, who had been dozing off, heard Stern talking about him, and hurriedly said, It's over. Tony, where are we going to eat? The laughter of the people at the scene increased. Stern saw this and said loudly, Keep quiet, Mr. Wu Lei, please reply. Wu Lei pretended not to know and looked over. Senator, you want to eat too, it's okay, get up, Tony, and I don't mind. Quote. Mr. Wu Lei, it's still early. Let me ask you, the wandering painter in Morocco is you. Go ask him. Why are you asking me? I'm asking you now, please answer. I said it too. Go ask him. Why are you asking me? Stern's old face was uglier than eating shit, and he thought it would be more appropriate to talk to Tony. Stark, according to the steel armor you have researched, it has strategic weapons. Please make a batch of weapons for the country. Tony pretended to be puzzled and said, Steel armor. Strategic weapons. What's going on? I don't know, the weapons research department has been closed for a long time, so what weapons are being researched? Senator, you haven't watched TV, have you? Quote. Then you watch the TV video. I have also invited professional weapons experts to explain. The nano armor worn by Tony appeared on TV, but the relevant video was secretly deleted by Wu Lei and Babada. You are talking about this. This is the exclusive prosthesis I researched. If you need it, I can make you a prosthesis, but I see that you have 5 limbs. Either break one limb yourself, or I can't design it for you. The reporters behind began to discuss. Don't people only have 4 limbs? How can there be a 5th limb? Stern is a man, could it be there? Haha, it must be. Stern's face became darker on the stage. Since you said it's not a strategic weapon, make a batch of your exclusive prostheses. Tony looked at Stern with contempt and said, It's said to be exclusive, which means it's customized. Mr. Senator, did your knowledge come from your physical education teacher? Stern slammed the table and said angrily, Mr. Stark, do you know that with your steel armor, the country can reduce the death rate of soldiers on the battlefield every year? 0. Mr. Senator, I said that I made prostheses. Since there is a death rate on the battlefield, I have objections. As long as there is no invasion of other countries, I will provide a pair of prostheses for free. At the same time, the League of Legends will do its best to resist foreign enemies, but if it is a malicious invasion of other countries, we will not provide any help, but we will only protect civilians. According to what you mean, your so-called prostheses are weapons, right? Mr. Senator, please don't accuse me. I didn't say anything about my prosthetic weapons. I just said that if there are foreign enemies, we will rush to the war. No matter what invasion occurs, people will take up arms to resist. Am I right? Quote. At this time, the reporters behind all responded collectively, yes, if there is foreign invasion, we will resist it together. Mr. Senator, you heard it, if you want weapons, you can ask Mr. Justin Hammer next to you. The weapons he makes are powerful. After that, the video was played on the TV. The robot made by Hammer Industries appeared on the TV. Since it was out of control and caused the death or disability of many soldiers, it was also a hero on the battlefield written in the newspaper a few days ago. When Justin Hammer saw it, he hurriedly unplugged the power supply. Oh. This is not okay. Aren't the reporters not seeing enough? At this time, Stern thought of the loopholes in Tony's words and said, Mr. Stark, didn't you say that the prosthetic was exclusive to you? After collecting it on the spot in Morocco, there was exactly the same reaction as yours. How should you explain? Is that person also able to use your exclusive prosthesis? Then can I understand that other people can also use it? At this time Tony looked at Wu Lei. Wu Lei also knew that it was his turn to answer, and said, Mr. Senator, I really wonder if you are like Tony said, your knowledge is taught by the physical education teacher. It has been said that it is a special prosthesis. How can it be exactly the same? As for the so-called reactor collected on the scene you mentioned, Tony has already told me, it is just a large light bulb similar to a reactor, and it is also very unstable. In order to protect the safety of local law enforcement agencies and prevent them from being harmed by this unstable factor or causing an explosion, our justice-filled Mr. Stark will be on the scene to destroy it. Oh. Mr. Wu Lei, don't believe in yellow words. According to our experts' research, it is indeed a palladium reactor, which is exactly the same as the reactor on Stark's chest. Mr. Senator, don't say it, this can prove that your cultural level is not high. Who said that palladium can't? It is used for lighting, but it is too crude, resulting in a high risk factor and it may explode at any time. By the way, who told you that the reactor Tony used was palladium, and the use of palladium to make reactors is a product of the last century? Who still uses that product? As for the hazards of palladium reactors, I will not say more, and you will not understand even if I say it. After hearing what Wu Lei said, Tony knew that it was time to end, and hurriedly said, Mr. Senator, we will leave if there is nothing else. Don't ask us to come to participate in such boring meetings in the future. We should go to school to make up for the lessons when we have time. Wu Lei and his party waved their hands and left the Senate under the applause of reporters on the scene. The next day, the newspaper appeared. The low-cultured senator unreasonably demanded the justice of Stark Company. The justice of Iron Man was not afraid of power and opposed violent aggression against other countries, and the justice duo of Stark Company resisted